Another great project for you today. Today we're going to learn about how to make digital darts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how this works. So we're going to click on full screen. I'm going to press the green flag and you see we have a crosshair that when we click on we get a dart and our target stops moving. Let's click this one more time so the crosshair sort of moves about. We're trying to hit this target and when we hit it, it changes into a dart and we do that. So let's go in here. So this has two sprites that we're going to be utilizing today. And one sprite is a crosshair, and there's two different costumes in this sprite. There's a crosshair and there's an arrow. And then if we click on the target, we can see that there's just one here. So let's go back to the crosshair and let's get started on coding that. So let's clear this existing code out of here first. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go into events and we're going to get ourselves a when green flag clicked. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go into looks. We're going to get a switch costume and we want to switch this to the crosshair so that every time the game starts we go straight into that crosshair. Next we're going to go into control. We're going to get ourselves a wait a half a second and then what we're going to do is we're going to get a forever loop. And inside that forever loop, what we're going to do is we're going to go back into looks and we're going to have this go to the front layer so that that's always showing up at the very front of the layer. Next, we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves an if-then conditional statement. And we're going to pop this right in here under that. And what we're going to do is we're going to be sensing for when that mouse is pressed down. So what we're going to do is we're looking for mouse down. And when mouse is down, what we're going to do is we're going to switch the costume to the arrow. And that's going to give us that nice visual effect to let us know when we've actually shot our dart. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we want to stop all once we do that so that we can know did we hit our target or did we not. So we're going to put a stop all in here. The next thing that we were going to do is we're going to create some motion. So we're going to do a when green flag clicked. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab ourselves a forever loop. And inside that forever loop, what we're going to do is we're going to go into variables and we're going to create a variable and we're going to call this move crosshair. Move crosshair. And what we're going to do is we're going to set that move crosshair variable. We don't want it to be at 0. What we want it to do is we want it to do pick random. So we're going to go into operators. We're going to get ourselves a pick random. We're going to have this vary between -10 and 10. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves a repeat block. So we're going to go into control. We're going to grab ourselves a repeat block. And we don't just want it to repeat 10. We want this to repeat randomly. So what we're going to do is we're going to have this vary between 1 and 10. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves 2 glide blocks. And these are going to be glide to an XY position. So what we're going to do is for the first one, and instead of it being that 1 second, what we're going to do is we're going to have that go to 0.25 seconds. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves an operator. So we're going to get ourselves a plus operator. And we're going to pop that right in there. And what we're going to do is on the left-hand side of this, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking for a mouse X to see where that is pressed. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add that move crosshair variable to that. So we're going to drop this in here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing for Y. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab ourselves a mouse Y. Well, let's get ourselves an addition variable first. Addition operator, sorry. And then we're going to do a mouse Y. Let's actually put this down here so we can see this full block. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get that move crosshair variable. We're going to pop that right in there. And then we're going to get ourselves another glide block. And this time what we're going to do is we're going to have this glide to that mouse X and mouse Y position, once again at 0.25. So we're going to look for sensing. And we're going to have this go at mouse X and mouse Y. So now we've got the code all done for the crosshair. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go into the target. We're going to clear this out of here. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the when green flag clicked. So we're going to go into events. We're going to get ourselves a when green flag clicked. Then we're going to go into looks. And what we want this to do is we want this to go backward by a couple layers. So we're going to get this. We're going to change this to backward. We're going to have this go backward by 5 layers. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves a forever loop. And we're going to create two more variables now. What we're going to create is a moving variable, and we're going to create a turning variable. And as you see, like the variables that we've created, they're popping up. A way to make those go away is that we can uncheck these click boxes and these things go away. So we've got these new variables. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to set this new moving variable that we created. And what we're going to do is we want it to be moving randomly between a -10 and 10. So we're going to change that to a -10 and 10. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get our cells, we're going to set our turning variable. So we're going to set this, and we're going to once again have this move randomly. So we're going to grab this pick random. We're going to have this go between a -10 and 10. And then what we're going to get is a repeat block. So we're going to put this repeat block right in here. And similar to before, we want this to be random between 1 and 10. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves a couple move blocks. So first we're going to get ourselves a move 10 steps block, but instead of it being a move 10 steps, what we wanted to do is move based on the moving steps. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we want this to turn clockwise, but instead of turning clockwise, we want it based on that turning variable. So we're going to pop that right in there. And then at the very last thing, because this is a target moving around, what we want to say is that if it's ever on the edge, we want it to bounce off of there. But we're going to put that outside of that repeat block. It's within the forever loop, but it's outside of this motion. So let's make this full screen. And let's have this start moving around so we see our crosshair and we try to get it on the target. Up, we hit the target. And then once again, let's have it going. You see how the crosshair is sort of moving around. We click on it, it turns into that arrow. So hope you all enjoyed this project. This is a great example of how to create random variables and how to have them actuate and do different things. And so we really hope you enjoyed it. Looking forward to seeing you back here for the next one. Thank you so much.